Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. And in today's video, the goal is to help you and empower you to move things forward in your life, especially the things that are important, but you've been putting off. Okay. And what we're talking about are those things that are nagging you, the thing that at the end of every day, at the end of every week, you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to hunker down, I'm going to buckle down, and I'm going to begin this habit, or I'm going to get this task done. So, for example, right, one thing could be like, you know what, something that's been pestering you is like, I really want to get back in shape and get a exercise routine going. Or, I really want to have a morning ritual again. Or, there's this big responsibility, there's this task that I was given, this event that I need to plan, or this message I need to send, but you've been avoiding. And the context for this is really for you to transition from having a sense of baggage, having a sense of stagnancy, and having a sense of not necessarily guilt and shame, but a energetic, emotional, and mental heaviness that comes with knowing something needs to be done, or knowing a change you want needs to be made, but still not making it happen, right? We know that feeling. I know that feeling of, man, I really should, or man, I really want to, or, I really will, but it's just push it off to tomorrow, push it off to tomorrow. And the thing is we walk around carrying this mental and emotional load, not necessarily negative, so to speak, but it's just a heaviness, a weight, a burden that we want to transition from and take off our shoulders, but for whatever reasons we're not, right? And I get it, man. Life is tough. We have responsibilities, and it takes more effort than we really want to give, or maybe that we really even have. And in addition to that, oftentimes we're just in the momentum of pushing things off, and we're in the momentum of, you know what, let me just chill out and I'll do it tomorrow, right? There's some type of habit we've already formed that involves pushing it off. And I get it, man. It is much more easy and oftentimes more convenient and comfortable to just press the snooze button, as we've talked about in past videos, and put things off. And fair enough, right? But like I've said, the whole goal right now is to empower you so that you can give yourself the gift of moving things forward, because what's on the other side of taking these actions, right, and moving things forward is a sense of lightness, a sense of, you can take a breath of fresh air, you can let go of whatever weight this baggage has on you. Okay, so for a moment, take a second to think about, what is this thing you want to focus on as I talk for the rest of this video, as we go for the rest of this video. Because what we're going to get to now is, what will it take? What does it look like for you to move the ball, to actually take the action? And so in many cases, right, specifically what we're talking about are things that we've been putting off, things that clearly there's some pain associated with taking this action. And I'll use something in my life as an example, right? Very simple. So I've been in charge of setting up a really big family event, and I need to send a message out to people to get some opinions on what we want to do and how we want to go about things. But for whatever reason, right, for me, there was a lot of resistance there. And there's a lot of different stories that come to mind, but at the end of the day, it's I'm afraid of something, or there's some type of emotion I don't want to feel. Maybe it's anxiety of not knowing how people are going to react. Maybe it's I'm afraid of responsibility. Maybe it's I don't want to put in the time to just face the fact that I need to sit down for about 30 minutes, really think about this, and then send a message, right? And so as silly as these things may seem, right? Oh my God, I just have to send a message. For whatever reason, we have resistances to them. And so the key word I'm going to bring up here today is courage. Courage. Because in a lot of cases, the thing we want to do, we are avoiding, we're resisting, because there's some type of pain point however small or big, that we don't want to deal with, right? And so, for example, another example, right? A lot of us, we want to, we want to have an exercise routine. And oftentimes for many of us, either you have to do that early in the morning before work or after work when you're already tired. And what does that require, right? That requires us to push past whatever comfort, convenience, or resistance that we have in those moments, especially if we're used to saying, no, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. Because at some point we have to be like, you know what? As much as I don't want to do it, I'm going to go do it. Point being, there are these funny and silly little things we resist, and they're very real for us. They are the things that get in the way. And so the boldness, the honesty, the willingness to take responsibility and do what we know we need to do. And so take a second to kind of, if you need to just kind of be with that. And also to just understand that, man, these are, and I'm speaking to myself in this moment as well. It's like, the reality is there are things that need to get done. Of course, we can continue to push it off, but we're the ones, and other people too, but we're the ones that are ultimately affected. And hey, maybe you're at the point where you're not wanting, you're not ready, and you're not willing to do something about it. Maybe, hey, you're comfortable. Maybe it's not an absolute must to get these things done. And that's obviously, everyone has their own right to like say no to making things happen. And that's completely fine. That's completely fine. But we're here to figure out, how can I move these things forward? Courage. And so what does that look like? Well, and why do I say courage? I think it's courage really combined with honesty and responsibility. Because and we've talked about this before, it oftentimes takes courage to be honest, and it takes courage to be responsible. And so that's why I bring us back to courage. And maybe for a second here, take a moment to embrace, just for in this moment, embrace what it would be like to be courageous. And hell, maybe in this moment, it requires courage to even consider making some changes, to consider taking some actions, right? Because what do? Oh, there's this thing I need to do. Let me push it way out to left field so that I don't have to deal with it at all. And so maybe it takes courage to even bring that thing from the dungeon, right, back to right in front of you. Like, okay, that's right. I want to exercise. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to do this thing. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm unhappy about XYZ and I need to make a change. Right? The courage to have it right in front of you. So it's important to give ourselves props for even bringing something back to the table, to right in front of you, right? And so just being with it might be uncomfortable. Right? It's like, right? Because what's right there? I know how much I want to do this thing, as well as maybe how much I'm resistant to doing it for whatever reason. And that's fine. It's fine to be in that space. And what's so awesome and amazing is that you have the opportunity to just do it. You have the opportunity to just do it. And sometimes we just need to take a deep breath about that. Like, being honest about how much we want to do it. Being honest about how much we're resisting. And then there's your moment. Right there is your moment. Right? The door's right in front of you. It's even cracked open a little bit for you to step into. And so what's left is for you to muster the courage to walk through, as corny and dramatic as that sounds. But that's the final piece right there, right? You know that there's something you want to do and that you actually want to do it. You know that we are the ones resisting. And it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do about this? What probably has been happening is, you know what, I'm going to push aside, push, or even ignore that it's there. we're so hilarious like that. And so it's like, right, getting real square with it. And then from there, take the action. And sometimes it's like, I'm going to ignore the fact that I'm scared. I'm going to ignore the fact that I'm nervous about this. And I'm literally going to ignore that, even like disassociate myself from those emotions. And I'm going to just take the actions despite the fear. And that's what courage is in this case. Taking the actions despite the fear. Taking the actions despite the resistance, despite the laziness, despite the excuses, despite the right? Despite that. And then you find out, right? Oh, it wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad. And so just something for you to take into account, you know, given whatever it is you got going in your life and what you want to be doing or not doing. Have the courage to bring that thing back to the table right in front of you. Be willing to just be with it and just be willing to go take the action. And as soon as you take the action, you feel a sense of lightness, right? You're opened up, you're cleared the baggage and the weight of the whole, man, I really should do this. I really ought to. I ought to. You're free now. You're free. And that's all I really hope for you and myself, all of us at this stage for this video. So hopefully this video served you well. Hopefully you give yourself the gift and opportunity to just move things forward. It doesn't need to be this way anymore. It's okay if you want to stay here, right? Here being not ready, unwilling, wanting to avoid, that's completely your right. I understand. Been there before, been there many times. And if you're someone who is really aching to just move things forward, your opportunity is right in front of you. Courage, and just even kind of like stubbornly just gonna push past your fears and concerns and anxieties and just go do it, only to realize that it wasn't so bad, right? And you already know intuitively that it's not even that bad. And so this video is just about shining a light on whatever it is that you want to get done or that you want to move forward, and reminding you that you can just go do it and that it doesn't have to be a big deal. And I hope that that's the case for you. But anyways, I think I have an Amazon package. That was mine. Anyways, great to be with you all yet again, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a good one. Peace.